Hello, my name's Artemis, and today we have a list video for you because fursuiting is a wonderful thing that so many people want to get into and enjoy. And they all have a very rose-tinted, fantasized vision of what exactly it entails. And I'm here to tell you that is not 100% fucking correct. You need to have a more balanced view to figure out whether this is something that you really, truly want to get yourself into. So, we are going to give you the opposite view and potentially give you 10 reasons why maybe you shouldn't get a fucking fursuit. Actually think it through first, you know? So, let's fucking get into that. Okay, let's start off with what should be the really obvious one at number one. It's really fucking hot, and I don't think that you can truly comprehend exactly how hot it gets until you are in one. And sure, you might have a chance to go and suit other people, and that's great. You should do that if you get the opportunity to really get the idea in your head before you go and spend a lot of money on this thing. But this is a real slog. You gotta want this. This is a test of endurance when you go out. And we all have these fantasies of suiting all day at a con and it being really comfortable. It being like wearing a fucking bed, basically. Being in bed all day. You're super plush and soft and lovely. And then you get the thing and it's just a mess of sweat and Under Armour, and nothing seems to hydrate you, and your eyes go fuzzy because there's a fucking blind spot as well to contend with, and overall you're just overheated at the end of the day with absolutely no fucking energy, thinking, Jesus goddamn Christ, did I just run a marathon? What the fuck? This is a real oven when you get to it. And that's just doing it indoors. All those lovely sunny photo shoots you see outside, legitimate risk of heat stroke. Number two, fursuiting is really fucking expensive, like really expensive. Fursuit costs are rising, and rightfully so. Artists do deserve to be paid accordingly for what they're making, and even with the rising prices, they're still not getting paid fucking minimum wage in some cases to make these incredible, bespoke, tailored, custom costumes. But it's still a very heavy financial burden for a lot of people in a time where inflation is high as fuck, and so is the cost of just generally existing in this hellhole of a planet. So it's a hell of a fucking investment right off the bat. And just getting the fursuit, just saving up for the fursuit, that is not just it. I mean, yes, you have the cost of commissioning the maker, the shipping costs, and then most likely the customs and import fees that you probably not even thought about, which, fuck me, they can sting. But after that, you have the traveling costs. I mean, do you want to go to conventions? Because that's going to involve some form of travel, no doubt. And that means that could be, train tickets, bus tickets, plane tickets, but that's not fursuiting related. No, what is getting a strong enough fucking case to keep it all safe. Getting some sort of insurance maybe in case it gets lost. Or maybe even a tracker. That's all going to cost money. And just getting like the cheapest fucking crate you can get from a store that just about fits. That's not what you want to do on a fucking plane. You're going to want something secure that can take a few hits without letting the shit inside get damaged. And even on top of that, you've got maintenance costs. You've got the cost of trying to keep this thing dry and clean at all times so that it's not just a moldy, disgusting, shriveled up sweat hive. It's not just, you pay once and you're done. This is going to be quite a big thing in your life from this point on. And if you want to use it as much as you potentially do, you're going to be spending out for that. Number three, it's not a cure-all. It's not a magical fix for all of your problems. If you are feeling a little bit out of place in the fandom, if you're feeling like you don't really fit into the community, getting a fursuit's not going to change that. Being awkward outside of suit is pretty much just going to translate to being awkward inside of suit. And if you're struggling to find people that you connect with and to make those meaningful connections, then you really think that this big fluffy obstacle is really going to help you out? So many people are kind of unsure on how they slot into the fandom when they join the thing, and one of the easiest ways that you can see to do that is, I'll just get a fursuit and I'll become a personality, and it'll be really cute, and I'll make videos and take pictures, and I'll be really cute and lovely and wholesome. And even if you do that, even if that takes off, people are only connecting with the fursuit character that you're putting across. They're not actually connecting with you as a person, and the deeper issues towards it are still kind of there. This is not something that's just going to be a magical fix for why you wanted to join the fandom, and it can actually become a little bit isolating if you realise that people only give a shit about you when you're suited. Number 4, it is not easy. Being a whole ass character is hard. It's energy intensive. Performing and having that fursona, is obviously a very energy intensive thing. And quite frankly, being 100% honest, not everybody has that to them. Not everybody has that drive to perform, to bring a character to life. And I'm not saying that you have to. Of course not. I would never say that you have to be a distinct character just to have a fursuit. You do not, obviously. But a lot of people come up with these fantastic ideas and lore and backstories for their OCs, and then tend to find that potentially they don't connect with the character when they're in suit. I've known people who have gotten a suit and it's been amazing and cute and lovely, and then they disconnect from it and they don't enjoy it anymore. They don't bother suiting up. It's too much hassle for not enough payoff, and that is a very big component of it. I mean, do you think that I just emerged from the shipping container exactly like this? Hell no. Fucking for the first year or so of suiting, I was silent. I didn't even have a fucking voice, which was good for everybody. But this is obviously something that a lot of people want to go out and show that they are a real part of the community and a real fursuiter and are really putting in the character work. And that's just not in everybody. And it's unfair to put that on yourself and then invest all this money to then learn that after the fact. I mean, you want to figure that shit out first. Number 5, there is actually a lot of pressure to this. You wouldn't think it, but this is actually quite a pressured thing. And it's not pressure that comes from other people, although sometimes it can. This is pressure that you put on yourself. You see, when you invest so much money into this character and so much time waiting for it to be brought to life by a skilled maker, there's a lot of pressure to actually make it worthwhile, to do a lot with it. There is the financial pressure, obviously, of trying to come up with all the money, and then also justifying the cost if, for instance, you can only wear it at conventions, in which case you can only afford 1 or 2 a year, and even those are on a lottery system, so there's no guarantee you get there and can wear the thing. And then what? How much money are you really expending? Because that's going to start weighing on your fucking head as to, oh my god, I've bought this suit, it took forever to get it made, and I love it so much, but I don't have an opportunity to wear it. And even then, there's the pressure that when you do suit, are you suiting enough? Are you suiting enough to justify? Are you suiting as much as you want to? When you're in suit, are you doing enough in suit? Are you a big enough personality? Are you getting the attention that you want? Are you able to portray what you want? Does this really feel like a fluid, natural thing 100% of the time? Or is there a lot of time when you're just kind of stood around in a lobby like, I don't know what to do now. I should be doing something. It's supposed to be a fluid, expressive thing that allows you to just let loose, but when you put on so much time pressure, when this is a limited thing that you can't just do every day with a million people and be super happy, because conventions don't work like that. When you have limited time that you can actually get in the suit and be this, you put a lot of pressure on yourself to make it worthwhile, to really get your money's worth and really make sure that this wasn't all a waste. And that can actually get in front of the good time that you're trying to have. Number 6, it is not what you think it is at all. Whatever you think it is in your head, whatever fantasy you've concocted through rose-tinted glasses, it's not that. Social media gives a very fucking selected, fantastical view of what exactly this whole thing is like, and that is completely fucking false. People just cherry pick all the best parts of it, stick it on social media, and then other people look at it and go, well, that must be 100% the experience. It is not. And you need to realise that, like, whatever fantastic ideas you've got of suiting and, I'm going to get a fursuit, I'm going to go to YouTube and Twitch and TikTok and everything, and I'm going to stream, and I'm going to play games, and everyone's going to love it, and I'm going to reach 1 million subscribers. That's not happening. That's just not going to happen. That's not reality. That's fantasy. I'm sorry to break the news to you. I really am. But we've all been there when you get the suit and you think, this is it, this is all going to take off. It's not. It's just not. Simple as. Like, I've never reached 250,000 subscribers yet, and I dreamed of it, but it didn't happen. It might still, probably won't. So there is a huge element of whatever you do think it's going to be, whether that's going out and suiting all the time in public and having these amazing photo shoots. It's not going to be that. Not all the time. You might get those experiences, but this isn't going to become everything. Hell, you might be in a town like I'm in and think, oh, there's so many places for good photo shoots. Just a shame I'd get stabbed if I went there like this. It's It's just not going to be the fantasy you've concocted. And the sooner you realise that before you invest thousands of fucking pounds in this, the fucking better. Number 7, will it ever be enough? Getting the 100% perfect fursuit that you've always dreamed of on your first go is a very slim fucking possibility, okay? Because everybody wants a fucking full digi-padded, fucking multiple sets of hands and feet, wings, light up, 3D printed fucking mechanical audio-visual fursuit the first time around, and no one can fucking afford that right off the bat. And even if they can, they're going to realise that certain features I don't use a whole lot and certain features I don't actually like in practice. So, are you really prepared for the fact that just because you got that fursuit doesn't mean you're not going to stop trying to get that fursuit? You're going to be looking at replacement parts. You're going to be thinking, oh, I don't actually kind of like this design, so maybe I want to do a version 2 or version 3 or an alt Sona or do a different character entirely. And actually, maybe these feet paws aren't the exact type that I wanted, so I'll get some plushy ones. Or maybe these hands are actually quite restrictive, so I'll get some new ones. And oh, the vision could do with a bit of repairing. And oh my God, speaking of repairing, this thing is not invincible. And after a lot of wear and tear, it's showing signs of wear and tear. So I need to get it replaced or repaired or fixed up or changed. And it's not the end of the fucking road. Getting the fursuit just opens the door to a hell of a lot more. It's like getting a car. You don't get a car and it magically works forever for as long as you want. There is a constant part of maintenance that goes into it. And it's the same here. Are you prepared for that? Because it's so fucking disheartening. It's really depressing the first time you notice a pop seam or something has faded or ripped or torn or broken on a fursuit. And yeah, you can fix it, but you really get that sort of, oh my God, this is not forever. And that's terrifying considering how long you went through it for. Are you really prepared for that? Number 8. It's not often you can actually fursuit. Simple as. It's not going to become an everyday thing, or every week, or every month, or every year for some people. I mean, this thing takes a lot of space, a lot of setting up and setting down, and also a lot of point. You need to have a point to suit up to make it feel worthwhile, and you ain't going to have that all the time. Simple as, if you're lucky, you'll have a Fermi every month, which is pretty good, actually, pretty good, where you can go and suit, but usually for people, it's cons, and you're going quite a long time between suiting, you're going quite a long time with your body remaining the exact same size and shape that it was when you commissioned the suit as well, because that's a big thing to fucking consider. Like, are you going to commission it when you're potentially a bit more weighty and then it doesn't fit properly? Or even worse, are you going to commission it and then let yourself go a little bit and not actually fit into the fucking thing? Because that's why I've been too scared to get a bodysuit, because my weight has fluctuated. Of course it has. Everybody's weight has. My body size has fluctuated. And, if I'd gone and gotten myself a fursuit, full body, full padded, the second I joined the fandom, I wouldn't be wearing that now. I wouldn't be wearing that for years. It might have worked as an incentive to keep me there, but it would be fucking depressing when you can't get that zipper up. But it isn't something that you're just going to do all the time. I'm very lucky in the fact that I have found a lot of social media stuff, YouTube, and now TikTok, Instagram, all of that. So I suit fucking twice a week, every single week. I am always in this fucking thing. But that's not going to be the same for everybody. And if you want to go out and suit all the time, you're dealing with weather patterns, you're dealing with social calendars, you're dealing with events maybe not happening, sickness, fucking pandemics apparently. There's a lot that can really take the suiting away from you because it's not going to be 24/7, 365. Number 9, it's nothing without you. And that's the real truth of it. This suit is just a glorified costume, an article of clothing, something that you bring to life and you bring character to. And that again can carry with it a little bit of pressure and almost fear in a way of what if you can't just bring it to life the way you want it to? What if putting this on doesn't give you that magic revelation and that instant ability to portray that character? This is something that relies wholly on you. It's something that's already in you. This is not a supplement. This is not something that's extra that just allows you to have something on top of what you already have. It doesn't give you anything apart from permission to have that confidence that you already have inside you. That's all this is. Everything that you can do in Fursuit is possible and available to you outside of it. This is just a method for your brain saying, okay, now we can have the confidence to do this. But if that sort of thing isn't inside of you, if that nature of performance and character isn't in you, you're going to be disappointed. If that's not actually something that you really want to do and you think, oh, well, when I get a fursuit, I'll just figure it out and I'm sure something will come along, it's not. And that can be very disheartening, especially if you realize that the suit, not really something that you particularly want to do anymore. That fucking sucks. And number 10, the most important point, really, it's not necessary at all. It really fucking isn't. All of the best parts of this fandom can be found without a fursuit. Easy. Easy, okay? This fandom is a social thing. And honestly, this is a blockage for socialness. Now, it can set up a meet and greet. It can get people sort of interested in wanting to meet you as a person. But then you take the suit off and you actually do the social stuff. You don't do that really in suit. Like, this is not necessary. You can have just as good, if not better, an experience at the fandom, of the convention, when you're not suiting. I mean, hell, some of the best conventions I've had have been some of the ones where I've suited the least, and I've barely been in a suit as much as I expected. And people very easily fall into the trap of, well, I'm a furry and I want to suit, so I therefore have to suit. And no, you don't. You really don't. It's not something that you can just buy and it makes everything easy. It's not a fast pass, it's not a cheat code. Now, if you want to build fucking numbers on social media, you want to go on TikTok and build shit, then some sort of representation of your persona is obviously going to fucking skyrocket things. But, I mean, we live in a golden age of shit like that. You know, go and commission yourself a fucking VR chat model or animate some shit. Because you just don't need this. It's surplus to requirement. Now, it can help, sure, but I don't know if I can really nail this point home as much as possible, but you don't fucking need it. It's an extra. It's an add-on. You don't need it. Are we getting this? It's just getting through to your fucking head. If you're stuck there thinking, but I need a fursuit to do the things I want to do. No, you fucking don't. No, you fucking don't. No, you fucking don't. You don't. Hope I made that clear. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry if it was a bit of a downer video, but quite frankly, I see people talking all the time about all the great things about fursuits and all the reasons why they would want one. And I think it gives just a little bit of an unbalanced view, because these things are fucking hot, heavy, expensive, exhausting, and honestly, if we're going to push people into this is the most amazing thing in the world, we need to be just a little bit more realistic about what it's all actually like. And so that people can make an informed decision before they decide to invest a hell of a lot of time and money into this thing, because it is a big commitment when you really get down to it. But hopefully this helps. Hopefully this allows people to make more informed decisions. That would be lovely. If you would like to make an informed decision on supporting this channel and myself, maybe check out this merchandise graphic and the links that it leads you towards and the merch that you can buy. Or, of course, if you'd like to just support us directly and keep us from drowning in this hellhole of capitalist nightmare that the UK has become, then you can also do that with Patreon, which would just be the most lovely, generous thing. It would really warm the cockles of my heart. And I would love you forever for that. So yes, emotional manipulation. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I guess I'll see you all next week. Bye!